banana. Okay.
What's up, homies? How we doing? Welcome back to Crispy's Collections, where we have a sort of a year in review comeback. I have right here in my hands Time Spiral Remastered from March 17th, 2021. I literally wrote a do not open until Christmas note to myself from last year, and so we have Time Spiral Remastered. And I just checked the price, and they're like, there's some pretty expensive cards potentially in here. And, I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to go into them and look at every card to see what I can get. And it's going to be fun. I'm just wanting to do this right now, just for a little throwback from a year later. And I'll do a little retrospect right at the end of the video to see how much different it feels opening a pack of Magic like an entire year later, especially considering last year was a very strong quantity-oriented overload of Magic packs and different sets coming out non-stop, which we're probably going to see the same this year. So I thought this would be a good time to go over Time Spiral Remastered to give a little retrospect on that. So let's check it out. Time Spiral Remastered. All right, let's see what happens with this one. Is it going to be worth it? I'm really not sure, to be honest with you. This is a social experiment for me to hold off on this for a whole year, because I could see how many packs Magic had been coming out with for so long. And, I think that it needs a tester. And typically I'm like buying packs on the spot, and you're super excited, and you pay a shit ton of money just for a pack or two, and then you're like kind of disappointed, and like years later you're like, oh wow, most of those cards sucked. But with this one, it's a remastered product, so you got to think that it's got value in the long term, right? I don't know. We'll see. Let's take a look. 15 card draft booster right here. I did like the slivers and all the like time counter stuff and suspend in here. So there's some cool stuff. Let us see what we can get out of this. We'll go a little faster on the commons. We got an illusion. It gets sacrificed. I haven't actually seen that one. The Simian Spirit Guide, adding a little bit of mana. Go by color here. Veiling Oddity, illusion suspended. Death Spore Thallid, I love my fungus. Spore counter on the Thallid, remove them, create a green Saproling. I do like this. I have a deck that's oriented towards Saprolings. That's one of my most fun ones, most memorable at least. Okay, I haven't seen this one. Elf Archer, Reach and Death Touch. Surprisingly decent to have Reach and Death Touch. Pit Keeper. Okay, flipping back something to your hand. It's a pretty cool art, though. Check that out. Wow. Sliver. I've had a Sliver deck built. Absorb 1. That's such a weird mechanic. If a source would deal damage to a Sliver, prevent 1 of that damage. It's like ward for damage, basically. Oh, a Core Rogue, a Shadow Rogue. I kind of like that, honestly. 3-1 unsuspend. Not terrible. Rift Elemental. Oh, nice. You can remove the time counters. That is pretty cool. That art's pretty sick, too. Another Sliver that just increases defense. That's such an old Magic kind of thing, like +2. Like, nobody does that anymore. Okay, Mycologist. Interesting. So you put a Spore counter on him every upkeep, remove 3 to create a 1/1 Saproling, and you sack 1 to gain life. Okay. Really hoping for a Mythic. Another Sliver. This one's kind of good. Oh, it's for 6, though. All Slivers gain double strike. Honestly, if it just said all creatures gain double strike, that would be pretty good, but, that's not fantastic. We got a blue one, probably not great. A Homunculus, Defender, Haste, draw, discard. That's kind of disappointing. All right, come on, we got it. Draining Whelk. I do not like these blue cards. An illusion, flash flying, enters the battlefield, counter a spell for 6.
Okay, sure. Put X counters on Draining Welk where X is that spells converted mana cost. For 6, just to take all that? I mean, that's just way too much to hold up. Like, I'm never going to do that. Okay. Ancient Steerings. And, oh yeah, the retro frames. Those are cool, though. I forgot that they had these. Top 5 cards of your library. Reveal a colorless card from among them, put in your hand. Oh, man. That kind of sucks. And a crazy-ass goblin. Okay. Not incredible. Lots of sliver action, which I don't like. The rare was not very good. Man, I hope I get a mythic. I feel like I have not gotten a single mythic. And this was from a whole box that I got before, so I should definitely be able to get one. Alright, Enchant Permanent, that gets Vanishing. That's just really slow. A Sliver gives everything Sliver cycling for some reason. Okay. Discard it and look for a Sliver. That might be helpful, though. Piracy Charm. Something gains Island Walk. Alright, whatever. I had enough of these blue cards. Cittannual Wood Readers. Kick it to draw 2. That's just really slow. Feebleness, -2, -1. A lot of enchantment heavy stuff these days. Edge of Autumn. This pretty much sucks. If you control 4 fewer lands, search your library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped, or you can cycle it by sacrificing a land. That's pretty bad. I mean, it's early game kind of ramp, but like, why would you ever? I don't know. It's just not a good idea. Another one of these slivers. Sporloff Ancient, which is a pretty cool one. Upkeep, put a spore counter on them, and then creatures you control have removed 2 sporter counters from them to create saprolings. So just a saproling creator. Oh, nice. Momentary Blink. This card's pretty good. Flashback, exile creature you control, and then return it. Very useful in my dungeon deck. I love that. Trespasser Ilvek. Discard a card, it gains Shadow. Okay. Not a lot of people utilizing Shadow. We got an Elder. Each 1/1 creature you control gets 1/2 until the end of the turn. You know, I was actually considering putting this into my Torrens token deck. If it was 2/1, I think it would be great. If it's 1/2, it's not as good, but I mean, it's not terrible. Celestial Crusader. Okay. So this is for 4, flash split second, flying other white creatures get 1/1. Anthem effect. For 4, it's kind of a lot. I do like split second and flash on there, but maybe for 3 it would have been better. Oh, there we go. Nice. Pongify. Absolute classic. This is the only blue card I would have wanted. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller creates a 3/3 green ape creature token. Donkey Kong is super happy about that. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Absolutely stoked. Oh, and who do we have here? Okay. Interesting. Jaya Ballard. A really old version. I have not seen this one. Task Mage. Spell Shaper. Discard a card. Destroy a blue permanent. Interesting. Permanent. I like that for red. And then for 2, discard a card. It deals 3 damage to any target, and then it can't be regenerated. For 7, discard a card. Deals 6 damage to each creature and each player. Wow. That's a pretty cool legend I have not seen out of this. I'll accept that. And we got here. Oh, excellent. Mortify. Wow. With the retro frame. That's sick. Destroy a creature enchantment. Yes. Very useful. I feel like everybody should be running this these days because, I mean, there's just way too much, like, enchantment-oriented shit that is in the meta right now. I feel like you just have to have the option to get rid of a enchantment. That's very good. I do like Jaya as well. And a Pongify. That was a pretty good pack, actually. All of those, like, literally all 3 of those are like destroy a permanent, basically. Pongify, get rid of a creature in blue, which is nice to destroy. Like, you don't usually do that. For red, destroy a blue permanent, which is pretty nice. And then Mortify, you know, getting rid of enchantment. That's pretty sweet. Okay. Last pack here. This is the Angel pack. A Chroma's Memorial? That would be huge. I didn't get a Mythic yet. I still haven't gotten one, so this might be it. Oh man, I'd be so freaking stoked. Come on. Ugh. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I do love the gold packaging, though. I gotta appreciate that for a second. Okay, first strike, Keldon Halberder. That's like some Elden Ring shit with that fucking halberd. That's my favorite weapon to use, for sure. Logic Knot, okay. Sliver that gets trample, sure. Edge of Autumn again, that card sucks. Feebleness again. Ivory Giant taps out every non-white creature on suspend. I mean, it's for 7, it's kind of a lot, but on suspend it's only for 1. Pretty slow for Commander. Strangling Soot, very cool looking card. Destroy a creature, toughness 3 or less, and then flashback. Bewilder. I'm looking for Ponder, man. Ponder or a Chromos would be insane. Judge Unworthy. Scry 3 on a white card, okay. Reckless Worm. Madness, okay. Joda's Avenger. Shapeshifter for 6? Why? 0. Until the end of turn, Joda's Avenger gets -1 and gains your choice of Double Strike, Protection from Red, Vigilance, or Shadow. It's just such a random thing. But it's for 0, so I guess you can just like keep doing it. That's so weird. Street Wraith. Swamp Walk. Okay. Another Mycologist. Oh man, they put too many of those in. Oh, we got something green. Dryad Arbor. What? A land forest dryad for the... Wait, what? Land creature forest dryad. It isn't a spell and it's affected by summoning sickness and has add a green. Interesting. So you just play it as a land, but it's a creature? But it's not a spell. That's really interesting. Okay. Oh, my boy! Oh, that's sick. Okay. Okay, a little Gary action for you. Oh, an old school retro Gary. Oh, yes. Thank you. That is so sweet. Look at him, he's so sweet. Gary, the Merchant of Asphodel. Oh man, I mean, this is just like super good in like all the artisan decks. I found this to be super helpful in other black decks that are not necessarily artisan themed, like just in the zombie deck, for example, just like finishing the game, just so much devotion on board. Ooh, that is so good. And a really cool looking spider token. Okay, well, I think that was a win, honestly. We got Gary in the retro. Got Pongify. That's very good. Mortify in the retro frame. I like the retro frames, man. Killing it. Nothing like huge, but like overall, I think this showcased like a pretty good set of things, especially because most of these are just rare and uncommon. Like I didn't get a mythic, but like I think that was pretty good, honestly. So last thoughts on this. It was exciting to open those, especially because they're, you know, and I'm looking for more like commander cards for sure. So like cards like Pongify and, you know, Gary, they obviously like help me out a little more. So that's nice to have. Just overall the feeling, I think, you know, if I sold these cards right here, especially, I feel like I would get my money back for what I paid for it. So if you were going in for it with a like a value-oriented mindset, you'd probably get your money's worth, especially if I didn't even pull a mythic, you still got some good value out of it. So that's nice. But for me, I'm just trying to use these cards to play with for the most part. And, you know, I am going to use a couple of these for sure. Like, these are some shoe-ins. I will put them in for sure. And, you know, it's nice to see the other Time Spiral stuff in there. But for the most part, you know, you're always looking for the big hits. And that's what Wizards of the Coast tries to get you on, those big hits. And that's how hard it is when you're like, okay, I'm going to buy this pack, this booster pack, and, like, hope for the best. Like, it doesn't always turn out the best. But, you know, if you wanted to buy these singles, they'd be pretty expensive, right? So it's just a roll of the dice, and it's up to you. Obviously, the remastered sets, and I think they're making double masters again this year, like triple masters or whatever they're gonna call it. Just be careful with those products, especially when they rise in price early on. Like, I feel like it's not worth it unless you're buying it immediately when it comes out at the like MSRP technically. That would be okay. Or if you get the singles shortly after, because these prices are still pretty high, especially for the higher ranked cards. So, like, I was thinking that I could just, get my money's worth out of the packs, and it didn't really look that way. So, just be careful out there when you're fishing for your Magic packs and cards. But either way, it was fun. Time Power Remastered, a year back, and stay tuned to more Christmas collections. We'll be having some more retro reviews coming very soon. I just got a brand new PC build set up, so that's going to have a lot more streaming capabilities on Twitch for us, and stay tuned for those. And thanks a lot. Peace out.